The little tiger's first roar. Once upon a time, in the heart of a green forest, there lived a little tiger with soft stripes and curious eyes. Every day, he watched the older tigers roar mightily. Their voices rolled like thunder, shaking the trees and echoing through the valleys. The little tiger's eyes sparkled with wonder. "Oh, if only I could roar like them," he whispered. But when he opened his mouth, all that came out was a tiny squeak, more like a kitten than a tiger. Still, deep inside, the little tiger dreamed of the day his roar would be heard.
The little tiger sat quietly by a stream, his ears drooping, his tiny tail brushing the grass. Just then, his mother padded softly beside him, her golden eyes warm with love. "Why so quiet, my little one?" she asked gently. The cub sighed. "I'd try to roar, but it only sounds like a kitten. The others will never think I'm a real tiger." Mother Tiger leaned down and nuzzled him softly. "Every roar begins small," she whispered. "Even the loudest thunder starts as a single drop of rain." Her voice was strong but tender. "One day your roar will shake the forest. Until then, be patient and never stop trying." The cub's eyes brightened. "Do you really believe that, Mama?" She smiled. "I believe in you."
The little tiger remembered his mother's words. He took a deep breath, puffed out his small chest, and stepped onto a patch of grass in the forest. "This time I'll roar like the big tigers," he thought. He opened his mouth wide. But instead of a thunderous roar, only a tiny squeak came out. It sounded more like a kitten than a tiger. The little tiger froze, his ears drooping. He felt his cheeks grow hot with embarrassment. Nearby, a few animals peeked from the bushes. A rabbit covered its mouth to hide a giggle, and a bird chirped in amusement. The cub lowered his head. "My roar is so small. Will I ever sound like a real tiger?" The little tiger's squeaky roar echoed faintly through the trees. Then came the sound of giggles. A rabbit hopped forward, covering its mouth. "Is that really a roar? It sounded like a meow." A monkey swung down from a branch, laughing loudly. "The mighty tiger sounds smaller than a bird." The little tiger's ears flattened. He felt his heart sink and his eyes grew wet. But not everyone laughed. A gentle deer stepped closer and whispered, "Don't be sad. Every big roar starts small. Keep trying. You'll get stronger." Though embarrassed, the little tiger felt a tiny spark of hope again. The little tiger wandered away from the others, his paws dragging in the dirt. The words of laughter echoed in his head. "Maybe they're right," he thought sadly. "My roar will never be strong." He curled up beneath a tree, his eyes glistening with tears. Just then, his mother appeared, her steps calm and steady. She lay beside him and whispered, "Do not measure yourself by their laughter. Strength comes from patience and from never giving up." The cub sniffled, his small body pressed against hers. Her warmth lit a new flame in his heart. "I'll keep trying," he whispered back. "I won't give up." The next morning, the little tiger returned to the grassy clearing.
This time, his mother watched proudly from the shade. He stood tall, his paws firm on the ground, his chest puffed out. "I will not stop trying," he told himself. He opened his mouth. Roar! The sound wasn't thunder yet, but it was louder than before. It bounced off the trees, echoing faintly through the forest. The cub's eyes widened in surprise. "It's stronger! I really did it!" His mother nodded, smiling with pride. "See, my little one? Step by step, your roar is growing." That afternoon, the forest grew quiet. The little tiger wandered near the riverbank when suddenly he heard frightened cries. It was the rabbit and the monkey, the very same friends who had laughed at him before. The rabbit's foot was tangled in thick vines, and the monkey was stuck on a low branch above the river, too scared to jump down. "Help! Somebody, please!" they cried. The little tiger froze. His heart pounded. This was his chance. He looked toward the forest, knowing he had only one way to call for help. He planted his paws firmly on the ground, lifted his chin, and prepared to roar. The little tiger took a deep breath. He remembered his mother's words. Every roar begins small, but grows with courage. He opened his mouth wide. Roar! The sound burst out louder than ever before, rolling across the trees. It wasn't thunder, but it was strong enough to echo through the forest. Birds lifted their heads. Deer turned their ears. And not far away, Mother Tiger heard it clearly. Within moments, she and other animals rushed to the river. Together, they freed the rabbit from the vines and helped the monkey climb down safely. The little tiger panted, his heart racing, but shining with pride. When the rabbit was safe on the ground and the monkey climbed down at last, they looked at the little tiger with wide eyes. The rabbit's ears twitched nervously. I'm sorry I laughed at you before. Your roar saved me." The monkey lowered his head. "I thought your voice was too small, but today it was strong enough to call help. Thank you." The little tiger blinked in surprise. For the first time, the animals who once mocked him now bowed their heads with respect. His mother watched proudly, her eyes shining. "You see, my son, your roar doesn't need to be the loudest. It only needs to be true." The cub stood taller, his heart swelling with pride. As the forest grew calm again, the little tiger sat with his friends under the warm glow of the sunset. The rabbit and monkey stayed close, their eyes filled with respect. The deer smiled softly nearby, and Mother Tiger rested proudly at his side. The cub lifted his chin, his small chest rising with confidence. "My roar may not be the loudest," he said, "but today it was enough to help, and that makes me proud." Mother Tiger nodded gently. Strength is not measured by size or sound, but by the courage to use what you have. The little tiger smiled, his heart full of warmth. From that day on, he was no longer afraid of his small roar, because he knew it came from a brave heart. This story teaches us that true strength is not about being the loudest, but about having the courage to believe in yourself.